Beyond
I
Flavor.
my look by you there. They boss. Bad man to the lose control. She be now you did a cockaro. Come to my zone, no set faro. Come below. We are very mole kojo. Moti moguro moti yo. Ibadi e kumaro. Come below. We are very mole kojo. Moti moguro moti yo. Ibadi e kumaro. Come below. Maybe take it slow. Love the way that you roll. Take it down below. Yeah, you killing me softly. With the way that you roll it. Baby softly. Oh, you're giving me this. Oh, you're tinko. Oh, you're giving me a beat. Tinko, girl. Giving me a beat. Yeah, tinko. Oh, you're giving me a beat. Yeah, tinko, girl. Giving me a beat. Eh, sale waba. Kere wale. Kupete kalema. Kucho wale. Baby girl, you got me high. Say only you just in my mind. Yeah, you busting my thinking. Say I please you, baby, tease you, girl, from a Camo Bugatti. Say I'm loving your waist and I treat you fine. Boy, I drink a baby, boy, I run a baby, boy, I fall like a baby, maybe you'll see money go drink a baby, boy, I drink a baby, boy, I run a baby. See, I'm loving your waist and I treat you fine. Maybe take it slow, the way that you roll, take it down below, and you killing me softly. With the way that you roll it.
Can see her perspective, hear her perspective, and ask Lola at Big Chun Radio. So let's go ahead and get started. Today I have Mr. Yancey here. In case you don't know, the name of the subject for the show is sure feels like parental kidnapping. Okay, so my client, Mr. Yancey, called me by a referral, and he basically said, what do I do? What do I do when I've been living with my fiance since 2009, and we have a fight, as many couples do, and she decides that she's going to get up, leave, move everything out of the house one day when he goes to work, come back, and there's nothing there. His child has been taken out of daycare. He has no record of where she is. He has no record of any telephone calls, text messages. Nobody is contacting him to say anything. So what is the first thing that you think? Parental kidnapping, right? I mean, is it considered that? Because of the fact that I don't know where my child is and I'm also a parent? Is it the right for the mother? Does the mother have the right to just jump up and leave and take her child with them because I had an argument with my fiance, so now I don't feel like being here, so hey, peace, I'm leaving. Can you do that? Is it legal? So here we go. We have Mr. Yancey. I'm going to allow him to tell you a little bit of his story, and we're going to get into some of the questions that you may have via live on Facebook as well as YouTube with Big Chun Radio. Mr. Yancey, go ahead and tell the audience a little bit of what have happened within the last 3 days in your life.
Okay, Lola, first, thanks for having me on your show.
You're most welcome.
I really
yes.
appreciate
and
it.
remember, the camera's right there.
Yes, ma'am. I want to be respectful to you. Let me give that thanks out. But I've definitely gone through a whole lot in these last few days. Lola has been, super nice and very informed and knows exactly, the steps to take. And I was referred to her, as she stated, by someone that was very high up in as an attorney. And basically, I came home one day and found my home was completely empty, and all I saw was hardwood floors and carpet. And
Completely empty.
completely empty.
I mean, she didn't just take the kid.
Not just the kid.
She took the fixtures.
The fixtures of the lights, the couches, the beds, all the clothes, everything that we'd accumulated in 9 years
Together.
was physically gone. I thought I was robbed, to be honest. I called 911 in Little Elm. The police showed up and told me that this was a civil matter and that it was my fiance and I in a disagreement.
Right.
Was there anything like that happened?
Yeah.
And yes, there was, but I had no idea that it would be to this
That
extent.
extent. But you didn't place your hands on her.
No, ma'am.
You didn't place your hands on her. You didn't threaten her
No,
on her
ma'am.
life. She
No.
didn't feel that she had to leave because you had actually threatened her in her life, and your life, and she ran because she was scared. She gave you no excuse,
None.
and now you don't know where your child is.
Have no clue.
Okay, so what do you do when this happens to you? What do you do? This is the first thing that I thought of, okay? Once again, I'm a paralegal of 18 years. I know what to do. I've been through it. But the thing about it is I'm not an attorney. I don't give legal advice. But what we do at Ask Lola is we direct these people on what they need to do when they don't have $3,000 to $5,000 immediately to pay an attorney. What happens when this happens to people like you and me? We don't have $5,000 to just throw away. So what happens? He got referred to Ask Lola, and at this point, this is what we did. We ended up, you ended up actually getting served with papers.
Correct.
Right? And he ended up getting served with a petition. Come to find out, 2 days later, he finds out his baby's in Galveston, Texas, 5 hours away from Dallas. Okay? So now your baby's in Galveston, and now you're being sued for parental rights. She wants to take your baby away from you. So you're like, what do I do? That's 5 hours away from you. Not only did she serve you, but she served you at work. Correct?
Correct.
What happened?
My boss found out and ended up letting me go, as he said it was too much for me to handle as a market manager for a staffing company. I had multiple offices. With that being said, he knew that it was taken away from my job because I would have to ask off to go to the processes of getting steps done in motion to even start the process to even see my daughter. So he was lenient at first, but when you don't have the money, as you said, and you're like,
what do I do?
and
It's
say, but
my
what do you
child.
do as my child? You
Do I
literally
sit here
have
and
this
just
time.
not do anything and keep my job?
Yes.
Or do you fight?
Right, you
So
fight.
now you're without a job.
Without a job, sold my home.
You sold your home. Thank you, Jesus, that you sold
Thank
your
you.
home and you're
Thank
able
you,
to have
Jesus,
at
yeah.
least a little bit, some type of dividends coming in.
Right,
Right?
right.
But you and I talked yesterday and you were in tears. You're like,
Yeah.
what do I do? So what did we do? At the end of the day, I couldn't help him. She's in Galveston County. We filed a motion for continuance, but apparently that's not exactly what you need to do. One of the things that you mostly need to do, the first thing is file an answer, right? And you've got to respond to the lawsuit that has been filed against you.
Correct.
The next thing is she doesn't live in Galveston. So does she have jurisdiction?
No.
No, she doesn't have jurisdiction. So what do? We file a motion to dismiss with a motion to transfer, okay? And the next thing that Michael had to do was go file an actual lawsuit against her for parental custody now. Now he had to go to Denton and actually file. So now, because we don't know where she's at, he actually has to file a motion for publication. What is a motion for publication? We've got to pub for 28 days in the Denton County newspaper and let that expire. How is it feeling for you knowing that you're going to have to be away from your child for this long?
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Like
You're a parent. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
Thank God I haven't had to go
you're
through
counting
that.
down those days. It's like you're marking down the calendar the days to go by to expire because you haven't seen your child since they left, and they're at your mercy. No communication.
No telephone.
No telephone. No address. You
No
talk to their
FaceTime.
friends. They have nothing. It's just they're ghosts. They're gone out, and it was a shock to me. I had to have my mom come out here to help me, or I wouldn't be able to be in the situation that I'm in, or if I didn't have you.
I'm so sorry that you're going through this. I'm really, really sorry. I know it's painful. I know it's hurtful. It's expensive. And this is why I do this show. I do this show so we can let people know that there are people out here who are willing to help. Okay? I may not have all the answers for you, and I may not be able to give you legal advice. But one of the things that I do know is I do know a lot of attorneys in town. I do know some of the steps that need to be done, and I do know at least enough to be dangerous and get you started. Okay, so another thing that we did with Michael is because the fact that he was in, the case is in Galveston County, we had to file an attorney. I told him, you have no options right now. You have to file an attorney. You have to get an attorney. Why? Because either one, you drive down there, and he still had a job at the time. Okay, so you're already in your job's already going to cost you. So what do? You go down there for 30 minutes, lose your job, drive 5 hours, 5 hours back, or just go ahead and pay that retainer. So he ended up paying a retainer, $3,500 to an attorney, which is exactly what mostly costs. They usually want about $5,000. But off the top, he paid the $3,500. We talked to this attorney for 20 minutes.
I would say more like 45 minutes once we got up 4:30 yesterday.
Once we argued with the paralegal
Yeah,
that she needed to have that attorney call me back,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Because he couldn't get to even talk to the attorney. She spoke to the paralegal, and then I got on her butt and asked her 100 questions, and then she said, okay, I'm going to have the attorney call you.
Yeah,
right?
so you told her, I know I have an attorney. If I was paid $3,500, I would have that attorney could call me back just like that. And Lola, after she said that, she went into action, and that's what spurred the attorney to respond right back.
We called after 5, and so, of course, attorneys apparently don't work after 5 in Galveston County, so therefore, we were like, I'm like, really? He just paid $3,500, and he's talking to a paralegal. Why isn't he talking to an attorney? When we hung up, the attorney called 5 minutes later, okay? And she basically says she's going to file a motion to dismiss and a lack of jurisdiction. Remember, in order to file a lawsuit in any county, you have to be a resident of that county for 90 days, or else you have no jurisdiction. That judge does not have jurisdiction to rule on your case. But, as we all know, judges do what they want to do when it comes to family cases. So they get to solve your issues without you even wanting to. So what happened, Michael? Tell us.
Basically, I got the short end or the raw end of the deal.
Right.
I'm now having to appeal the decision. There was a hearing.
There was a hearing yesterday.
Yesterday, correct. And I lost my job the same day because my boss found out because we are monitored on our computers and our phone calls for our sales activity and whatnot. I found out that I lost my job, so I ended up having to call the attorney to say, look, I can drive down there to represent myself. However, the attorney said, you don't need to come down here right now for the first hearing because it's going to basically be an appeal. They're going to give you the shaft, and you're going to have to
appeal it. So long story short, his motion was not ruled on, a motion for transfer and a motion for lack of jurisdiction. It was not ruled on. He was put on child support immediately as of yesterday for $700, and the attorney basically got slapped and almost got a motion for contempt of court because she told the associate judge that she didn't have jurisdiction over there. And the mother of the child testified in court that she had only been in Galveston County since January 3rd. The rule of civil procedure strictly states in order to file a lawsuit in that county, you have to be in that county for 90 days. There's no jurisdiction. So you pay $3,500 to an attorney. Now, what's their response? In order for them to appeal the decision, what has to happen?
I have to pay another $3,500.
No. The email said $5,000.
$5,000, yeah, $5,000, but $3,500 now for them to even touch it.
Right.
To do the $5,000. So $3,500, and then when I sell my house, another $1,500.
Oh, so you just paid $3,500 2 days ago.
Yeah, 1 day ago, yesterday.
1 day ago.
Yes,
they attended the hearing. They did a motion and a half. Mm-hmm. It did not get granted.
Correct.
So now in order for them to appeal, they want another $3,500. Oh, and by the way, this attorney billed 16 hours on his case, and she started working on it at 5 p.m.
Correct.
Right?
Yes,
So now his option is paying child support, going to go see your kid, I think, for 4 hours?
4 hours, halfway.
Halfway. The mother can meet halfway and see his kid for 4 hours. And
this is all based off of allegations on paperwork. I wasn't there to defend myself, yes, but the attorney had my story, had all the documents. I've never been arrested for drugs. I've never been arrested for violence. I've never been arrested for anything that's for nothing at all. So for her to claim that I'm could hurt my child or harm my child or do a TRO,
she filed the TRO and she basically made you look like a monster.
Made me
in
out to
paper,
be a monster.
right? You're a monster, and I told you. Right now, you're a monster. So, anyways, we're going to take a break. Thank you for listening to Big Chun Radio. We're going to take a break with Mr. Yancey. We're going to bring a lady's perspective on it, and we're going to collaborate and get your questions, get your thinking, get you to know what goes on when this happens to you. Is it parental kidnapping or not? And we'll let you know what the police said after he tried to report it. Thank you. Ask Lola. Be back in 5 minutes.
When you're looking for that authentic Caribbean flavor, the place to go is Aldi's Caribbean Restaurant. The food is good and the service is great. Takeout or dine-in, we've got you covered. Try our all-you-can-eat buffet, Monday through to Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're located at 7879 Spring Valley Road in Dallas, Texas. Visit aldiz.com or call us at 972-701-0111. Catering is also available. Aldi's Afrobean Restaurant. Come, taste the Afrobean flavor.
Come join us each and every Friday
at Aldi's Sports Bar and Grill
for Happy Hour Fridays from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. $1 well, $2 Jamaican rum punch, $20 bucket, 6 beers. Fridays from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Aldi's Sports Bar and Grill, located at 7879 Spring Valley Road, Dallas.
After the show, it's the after party.
After the happy hour is the after party.
Until 2 a.m. 2 rooms.
4 DJs.
Room 1,
DJ Ebu and Go DJ International Curtis G.
Room 2,
DJ Drawflip.
and guest DJ
Each and every Friday
at Aldi's Sports Bar and
for
Grill.
Happy Hour Fridays from 7 p.m. located at 7879 Spring Valley Road, Dallas.
For like give me love, oh.
When you're looking for that authentic Caribbean flavor, the place to go is Aldi's Caribbean Restaurant. The food
What's that Kardashian guy?
Rob.
Yeah. Like when he sent me pictures of his horrible of what you're going through.
Yeah.
But you know what? It happens so much that there's men like you out there that are going through this and that need somebody's help.
Absolutely.
That needs to know what to do.
Right.
What was your first thoughts? Like, what did you? I mean, I know that you called the police because you thought you were robbed, but
Right.
it's like now you're going on almost 30 days. You haven't seen your child in 30 days like that. It went from seeing your child every day and now there's nothing.
Yeah, and my daughter was actually staying in the room with me, in the bed with me each night. You know, she was like, I want to stay with Daddy and not in her room because her mom was sleeping in her room, changing her diapers in a bottle. So I took over as the mom. I'm like, I'll do the diapers, I'll do the bottles. Just let me keep her. And it was like 2 weeks of her staying there, and then that's kind of when she was going after all that happened. So she was attached to me at the hip.
And she
then
lied. She lied on the document papers and basically stated that because she was trying to prove jurisdiction in Galveston County. So she lied in the papers and actually stated that she'd been in Galveston since December. And it was crazy. So then yesterday she testified in court when she got an attorney that she'd been there since January 3rd. Yet the judge did not grant the motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction.
Which is beyond me, or how that's even possible or feasible.
Oh, judges do this all the time. That's why we recuse them.
Yeah.
You know how you recuse a judge? You Google a judge who is not doing stuff in your favor. You Google them and you find out, what is this judge biased about?
Right.
Why is this judge putting his personality in there? And you know what? I just talked to the CEO of Equal Custody, and you know what he told me? That they've recused that judge that you're going against, and that she's got a history of not letting evidence in. So we're going to put this judge on blast on Ask Lola. We're going to talk about her, but right now I want Queen's opinion.
So if you're gonna, is the case still in with that judge?
So basically, his motion has not been heard. I mean, his motion was not granted. He was told to pay child support, and he was told he was allowed to now see the child 4 hours from now, but she basically denied the motion.
Okay.
So we have to, when you don't agree with an associate's judge decision, everybody has a pause. So you go to the senior judge now. But to go to the senior judge, the attorney now has asked for another $3,500
Right.
in less than 24 hours.
Is there any
that
way
doesn't happen?
you can request it to go to a different court or a different judge? Because I don't know about defaming this judge with all the Google information while they're looking over your case.
Yeah, that's what you've got to be careful with, because you're right. The reason why you ask for a recusal is to be able to be removed from that judge,
Okay.
because they're biased.
Okay.
So that is what is called, how do you recuse a judge? You basically Google what they have decided upon, what their decisions have been based on, and what they're biased about.
So it'd be another $3,500 to do that, or should he continue filing other motions to?
The only other motion that can be filed right now is a motion to recuse that judge, and no, you can't modify it yet. You have to appeal.
And then
that
transfer it to
that associate's decision, and that appeal supposedly costs $3,500. It doesn't. It actually is a one-page motion asking the judge to make a decision on summary judgment. Who has authority, Denton County or Galveston
Okay.
County? Circle yes, circle no,
Okay.
and it shouldn't cost you $3,500. But
No,
for
you
people who
shouldn't.
don't know,
That's
that's exactly what happens.
And then you get caught with curveballs that you have no idea that's going to happen. For instance, I talked to the attorney afterwards and asked, what are these charges for? Lay them out. And she said, well, off the bat, $1,700 for me just to walk in the courtroom.
$1,700 to walk in the courtroom.
Wow.
She is a 15-year attorney. She's very experienced. She's probably $400 an hour,
Yeah,
and her
yes.
hearing was literally probably about 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 to 22 minutes.
And this is what I'm talking about. This is why I go for equal custody rights and fathers' rights, because at the end of the day, dads don't want to fight. And there are some dads that will fight. There are some. Most of them, though, get in the gutter, get stuck with paying a large amount of child support, or get stuck. And I'm talking about dads who actually want to be active in the kid's life. I'm talking about a dad who actually has the best interest at heart of their children. Because if you are a parent who really, really loves a child, you would never, never, never take them away from the mother or the father. You wouldn't do that.
Absolutely
Because you're gonna hurt them psychologically. That child loves you and loves her as much as that child can love. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So the parents' differences should never intervene, but we don't realize what we do to our children when this happens. You know what I'm saying? So I know that you have a little bit of history on this. I know that you have friends that have gone through this. Give us your perspective on some of the things that have happened in your life. I'm very, very transparent. I've talked about what I've been through. I still have to deal with it all the time because I've moved on, but yet, you know, I'm still, there's a new life in there's a new woman in his life, and I've got to see her all the time. And even though I wish I could just go, I can't, right? Because I love my child, and I have to be the mature one, but let my child turn her back? No, I'm kidding. I've got to be the mature one for the sake of my child, and it is very, very hard to keep that perspective on. What do you think about that?
You know, as a child who had parents who divorced each other twice,
Yeah.
you know, when you see your parents quarrel like that, the children know what's going on.
Right.
So
They
you
feel it.
really don't have to do anything. The children know. Your daughter will know Mom is keeping me away from dad. This is not right.
Yeah, she even knew it too. When she was going in the bedroom, she would slam the door and say, "I'm sleeping with daddy." At 2.
Yeah.
Just based off of seeing.
Because of how
stuff.
she treats you.
Right.
Exactly. When a child
There'll be
can
some
feel it.
resentment. There'll be some resentment if she doesn't try to start working things out with you.
Right.
But to tell my story real quickly, I had a kid by my abuser, and I was in domestic violence shelter because of this man. I had to hide from him when my baby was only 6 weeks old. He ended up kidnapping my son, parental kidnapping, and couldn't find him for almost a year. After finding him, got me
You
served.
went a year?
Almost 8 months.
Oh, wow.
8
I didn't
months.
realize that.
After locating him, I was able to serve him. Long story short, he ended up winning primary custody. How does someone who have more than 10 children out there, does not pay child support for any of these kids, get primary custody of my son?
You know why? Because he took him first.
Right.
Because he took him first. This is what you need to learn.
Exactly.
Whether you're getting divorced or whether you're separating or thinking about it. It is seriously, well, I don't have the statistics in front of me. But half of the time, and the saying goes, is whoever gets to the courthouse first. Okay? And because that child was with, and you know what's so crazy?
Well, no, I went to the courthouse first, but what my attorney told me is that when there's family violence, you can't bring it into court if it's been more than 2 years. Well,
That's
my
right.
protective order protected me for 2 years. It was a 2-year protective
So
order.
you never bought it.
So he didn't violate it.
Right.
He moved on and had another person that helped him win this case, that funded him. And my attorney said the reason why the judge didn't take my son away from him, it's because he had been living there. Now, this case took 2 years, and he already had him for 8 years.
Yeah.
So we're going on 3 years now that he's had
Wow.
my son. So because there was no history of family violence within those 3 years, and he's had him, there was no reason to yank my son, the word yank, from his current situation.
Right, because the way the court thinks is it's gonna affect your child.
Exactly.
Right? But really? Not having mom? Really? Does that not affect the child?
Well, and not allowing you to bring up family violence because it hasn't happened in 2 years. Like another attorney that I consulted with said, you know what? I would have put that protective order in that petition, even though
Heck
you're
yeah.
not supposed to, just so the judge could
As an
see
exhibit.
it.
Yeah.
So the judge can see it and already have it in their mind.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah.
So
That-
take all kinds of notes, record phones, do everything
Everything.
in writing.
It has been a hard lesson learned.
I told you that.
And it
She
is-
actually even went through his phone.
and deleted the photos I had with
She
her.
apparently
from-
what is this thing called with
it's a antivirus.
with T-Mobile.
Yeah, it's an antivirus slash spyware that
Did you know that
put
you could do
on
that?
your phone.
She went on his phone without him even knowing and basically uploaded this virus through T-Mobile and deleted all the pictures of proof that he had with the baby after December 25th.
So was her 16-year-old with you, with another?
No, she was actually married twice before, previous
Okay,
to me.
so it sounds like she probably has experience.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
a,
yeah,
actually,
yeah,
she's a
yeah,
paralegal.
that's why-
She's an environmental paralegal. So
okay.
she had a lot of connections and people that she had helped there in Galveston for beach possession or something like that. So she had those people that were.
Oh, that's why she landed in Galveston, because she's got connects.
connect.
Gotcha.
She said
Well,
the
I tell you,
plugs
it's
is
not
what
what
she
you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
And who they know.
Yeah, and who they know, exactly.
Oh, my goodness.
Exactly. So it is very, very unfortunate of what's going on in this show. I hate to make Mr. Yancey the story of my show today, but I wanted this to air. I wanted this to go live. I wanted people to see that we have perspectives via men and via women, okay? She went through a horrible situation when her baby is yanked from her at 6 months old, and she was stuck without seeing her child, without raising her child. What do you do as a citizen when you think that the government is going to help you, that the state will help you, that the that the Attorney General is going to come in and actually assist you? You know, and here's the thing. You can go try to find a pro bono attorney. You can go try to go to the legal aid. But if you're employed and you make over $35,000, you're not going to get help. So then middle class is stuck.
Right.
You don't got 5-10 grand to just throw away to an attorney so they can take up your story and stuck it up again and say, oh, by the way, now that I filed this motion, you owe me another $5,000. It's like, this is their job and this is their living. I get it. I work for them. But at the same time, when you're going through the most difficult situation in your life, you feel like you're being preyed on, right? Like you're like, can you find some compassion in your heart to help me? I went through this. And I'm telling you, as soon as you finish that retainer, boom.
Yeah.
You know, we need more. And they don't answer you.
No.
They don't answer your emails. They won't answer your phone calls. And they'll keep sending you the same email. We can't respond until you pay another $5,000. We can't respond until you need. It's difficult. Did you go through this?
Oh, I went through 3 different attorneys.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's hard to find a really good attorney out there. My first attorney was $300 an hour, and it took up my 401k, and I was with that company. I lost my job too over it.
Yeah, you did. And that's where her and I actually know each other. And God, that we go like almost 11, 12 years.
Wow.
She was with the company for
14 years.
14 years.
14 years.
Yeah, and your bosses, they don't really want to get into the personal stuff. It's just if you're not there, it really doesn't matter the reason. If you can't do your job,
Right.
you're at their mercy.
How can you think when you don't know where your child
Yeah.
is? I mean, I went through a depression. I was suicidal.
I couldn't get myself out of
Yeah.
bed, you know. And if it wasn't for my mom bringing
yeah.
money, I don't even know what I would do. That's why I'm here, because I can't imagine fathers that would not have $3,500, because I'd be in a worse situation than I'm in now if I didn't have that. So I can only imagine for guys that are just barely making it or paycheck to paycheck, how are they going to fight for their kids? Who's going to help fight for them? And it's people like you that are going to help. And
That's all we do at Ask Lola. We are trying to help. We do not provide legal advice. Okay, I don't provide you legal advice. I have a team of paralegals who help, and all we do is we get people in. We charge a consultation fee to talk to you of only $29.99. That's it. But the only reason why we charge is because we talk to a lot of people, man. My phone is ringing left and right, and there's people who need help. I stay on the phone for more than 2 hours with people till 2 o'clock in the morning. I think I have a passion for this, and more than anything, my heart is in it. My heart is in there to educate yourself. Read the Texas Family Code. The more you know, the better you'll be, and you won't be taken advantage of. Thank you so much for joining us at Big Chun Radio. We're going to take a break, and at the same time, we're going to bring in a lady by the name of Valerie. Valerie has experience with people who have gone through this, who provides life coaching, okay, building her own business, being an entrepreneur, having a full-time job, but at the same time has a passion to provide help to those who can't help themselves. Thank you so much. We'll be back at Big Chun Radio. Ask Lola.
When you're looking for that authentic Caribbean flavor, the place to go is Aldi's Caribbean Restaurant. The food is good and the service is great. Takeout or dine-in, we've got you covered. Try our all-you-can-eat buffet, Monday through to Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're located at 7879 Spring Valley Road in Dallas, Texas. Visit aldiz.com or call us at 972-701-0111. Catering is also available. Aldi's Afrobean Restaurant. Come, taste the Afrobean flavor. When you're looking for that authentic Caribbean flavor, the place to go is Aldi's Caribbean Restaurant. The food is good and the service is great. Takeout or dine-in, we've got you covered. Try our all-you-can-eat buffet, Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're located at 7879 Spring Valley Road in Dallas, Texas. Visit aldiz.com or call us at 972-701-0111. Catering is also available. Aldi's Afrobean Restaurant. Come, taste the Afrobean flavor.
It's been a long, long time. I get this message for you, girl.
reaching millions. The new sound, bottom to the top. New music from holy hip hop lyricist Orem Shalom.
And it's loving God more than anything. You know that love you feel inside for yourself. Love who you come in contact with the same. Learn from the Lord, not your pain. My God forgives and so do I. I like life, but I'm excited to die. To live in the kingdom of the Most High. To see what it's like to be alive.
God's word, encased in an insatiable groove that'll keep you singing and playing this song over and over again. Bottom to the top. The new single from Orem Shalom. Get it now at iTunes, Spotify.com, and Amazon.com.
I love you.
When you're looking for that authentic Caribbean flavor, the place to go is Aldi's Caribbean Restaurant. The food is good and the service is great. Takeout or dine-in, we've got you covered. Try our all-you-can-eat buffet, Monday through to Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're located at 7879 Spring Valley Road in Dallas, Texas. Visit aldiz.com or call us at 972-701-0111. Catering is also available.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Big Chun Radio with Ask Lola. I'm here with you today. If you don't know, then we are discussing, is this considered parental kidnapping? I had a client earlier that came in. His name is Mr. Yancey, and he basically told a story. Him and his fiance were together, and she decided to leave. Okay, I don't know her story. I'm not here to represent her story. I'm here to represent Mr. Yancey and his story the way he tells it, and to tell what he's going through. Because whether it's a woman or a man, they're both going through something. But here's the difference. There's a child that's in the middle. So should the child be removed away from one parent because of how the other parent feels? I don't think you should. It causes detrimental to the child. The best interest is not in the child, as the court is going to rule eventually in the case. And I want you to welcome my friend Val with Holistic Encompass. She basically is a life coach. Okay, and Ask Lola, we're going to start referring cases to her because people are going through some really serious stuff. For example, I've got Miss Queen here with me. She's a very, very good longtime friend, and she went through a little bit of this. Okay, so to recap on your story, can you tell us a little bit of what you went through? And then at the same time, I want Val to let people know how Holistic Encompass would come in and help people like Naomi, help people like Mr. Yancey. How can we help the helpless who can't help themselves at this time when you are probably going through the worst situation in your life? You know, you think that losing a job is bad, losing a limb is bad, losing your house is bad, but have you ever gone through a child being taken away from you, your child being ripped away from you, and you not knowing where this child is? I don't even know what I would do. I mean, thank God that that hasn't happened to me, because if he did that to me, I would be probably in prison today. So I want you, Nay, to give your experience on what you went through, and then I want to bring in Val to say how she could have helped during your process. What did you go through as far as your home, you losing your job, you losing your sanity, not wanting to get out of bed, and somehow or another, you had another kid.
Yeah.
You had to put your life together.
I was a single mom, 2 kids, I had a 9-year-old, and my son was 6 weeks old. I had him, his father was my abuser, and I had a protective order against him for 2 years. So I left him and went to a domestic violence shelter. When he was about 3 years old, I was in communication with his paternal grandmother, and she was going to help me with him in the summertime. he ended up going over there and getting my son, and I didn't know where he lived. I wasn't in communication with him. So for 8 months, I didn't know where my 3-year-old was, and I lost my job over it. I was suicidal. I checked myself into Green Oaks. They put me on drugs that I didn't want to take. My friends thought I wasn't a good mom. My family didn't want to get involved because he was crazy. So I really felt
You were alone.
alone in this
Alone.
situation. She actually helped me. I had to go to her house one time with the baby because of the abuse I was suffering.
I helped you move out. I remember.
Yeah.
I was helping you move out, and you came over. How? Not only do you not have your child, and now you have to, and at the same time, you had another child.
Yeah, the domestic violence shelter actually required us to go through counseling, and my 9-year-old went through counseling, and when we left the place, I never seen him cry so hard. So that counseling broke through to him, and I don't even know what that man might have done to my son, put fear in him. And that's actually how Network Queen started, because my mind was going crazy and I needed to keep myself busy. And that's how I started this Network Queen thing. I literally had like 6 jobs just to keep my mind, because I didn't know where my
Network Queen
child
of
was.
Dallas, you did a lot of promotions.
That's beautiful.
How do you pick up someone like Naomi Bell? How does your company help somebody like Naomi? What kind of coaching? Because that's exactly what you do. Your experience coaching. How would you have coached her through this situation?
So this is the thing. The first thing that comes to mind is that mental state. It's gonna be my priority. I need to know, are they suicidal?
Yeah.
Which she was. That depression, how is it kicking in? Because like she said, I'm a life coach. This is not mental health care. So it's gonna be different. I'm like the first approach on what is it that you need. So it's looking at everything rational. At that point, you're not rational, you're emotional, and that's the worst scenario for any person that has to make really important decisions.
Right.
So I'm like the voice of reason.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
It's that moment when you need
voice of hope.
The voice of hope it's a very logic voice that is going to guide you.
Okay.
Because in that emotional state, you can't think.
Right.
There's no decision that you can make at
You
that
really
point.
can't.
You can't think.
Well, you're sulking in depression.
And you're making the wrong decisions because your head is emotionally trying to get rid of the bad emotions to be replaced with the good emotions. So you just want to go, and some people, I'm going to go drink, I'm going to go do drugs, I'm going to go.
I drank a lot.
To get these outlets that are not healthy. And at that point, it's where I come in, because it's like that friend that you want to have that it's not biased, because I can't be biased.
Right.
It has to be everything logically, with reason. It's just like almost a robotic type of scenario.
So how often do you meet with them?
With the heart, because that's the main thing, because I love what I do.
Yeah.
People,
Yeah.
that is definitely the main priority.
When you find somebody that's broken, just like me, when I find somebody that's broken, that's going through something, I can't, with my knowledge, I finally decided to do this. I helped my husband go through what he went through, and I helped with an attorney help. I helped get his kids back to a mother who had kids. She had no mental abuse, or she had no this or no that. But the thing about it is she was living in hotels with the kids, changing men, changing hotels constantly. And I'm like, the kids were traumatized. They were coming to us, don't turn the light off, don't leave me, don't, peeing in bed. And I'm like, they're only
Complete
4 and
abuse.
5.
Abuse.
And so I was like, I never want to be the mom to take away or help take away a child away from his mother. But at the same time, I saw what she was hiding the kids. Different men were coming in. She was living in hotels. And I'm like, how is this okay? I even try to talk to her and say, listen, let us have the kids for a little bit. I'll write a statement. Let us have the little kids. And while you get your life together, we'll help you. No.
So somebody in my situation really needed you. Like hearing
Yeah.
you talk, it really got me emotional, because like I said, like my friends thought I wasn't a good mom because I was in contact with his paternal mom, even the history that I've had with him, and my family didn't want to get involved because of the violence. They were afraid. So
you feel alone. You are completely
Completely.
helpless,
The people who you want the
lonely,
most.
and there's just no hope. Like you're just like, this is it. This is that moment when you're just giving up.
Right.
Because people tend to give up. And I will not let you give up because I will have the resources. And this is the thing that people don't understand. You need as many friends as possible, but you need really resources that would actually get you from point A to point B the best way possible. And friends, they're awesome. It's awesome. They can hear you. They're going to give you the advice that they understand that you need to hear.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you the one that you need to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to do so that you can get there and how to get there, which is very important. Not everybody can tell you how to get there. Having somebody that can, it's like a 360, complete 360 of knowledge of, okay, this is your situation. This is what you need to do. This is how you're going to get there. Simple. It sounds simple, but it's a whole lot of work here that happens when you guys are already relaxed. Okay, I have somebody, and that's when I get to work.
How does Holistic Compass meet with the client, or where do you meet with them? Do you go meet with them somewhere? Do you put them in a comfortable situation?
I can. We have many ways of doing this. I think that technology is amazing these days because I could do it just like we're doing it right now. We can FaceTime, we can Skype. I mean, it's limitless. And thankfully for me, I have a vehicle. I don't mind. I've had to drive to people, and I don't mind it. This is something that I wish I was hearing when you guys were talking about the attorneys and how they just seem a little bit heartless on how they kind of approach this situation.
It's a business.
But it's like 100% business with zero heart. And I don't think that any business that you don't put your heart into it, I don't know.
It's not
me
rewarding.
being too emotional because it's just the heartless part. I can't deal with it. We're talking about people. We're not talking about a car that broke down and you're gonna just sell it for parts or anything like that. We're talking about you as a mother, as a woman, as your kid is right there, and he depends on you, and you're not able to respond. And what do? No, I need money. I need money right now.
So have you helped anyone in this situation where a kid was taken away?
Not in this particular situation. This has been very eye-opening for me because
of what is out there, right?
Because of the intensity of. I would have never. This is another thing. I've been in the human resources arena for over 10 years, and hearing that both of you lost your jobs.
It's crazy, right?
I'm here like. What? So the first thing I'm thinking, okay, they need to get a job. I'm thinking, how am I gonna? Let the network starts in my head because I'm trying to resolve problems.
Look at you.
Of course,
exactly.
That's how you have to function. How do I resolve your immediate problems? Because you're gonna continue.
That's what I do.
Right?
How do I resolve it immediately?
The immediate
what motion do I need to file?
Exactly.
You know,
what advice I need to give you right now so you can understand that tomorrow is gonna be another day.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what? One of the things that's really, really important, and I was going to have a doctor come in and talk with us. I read a study, and I also belong to Fathers Have Rights, and I belong to Fathers' Right movement. And I read a study, and it said that 75% of men turn to drinking and women.
75. That's
75% of men going through divorce turn to drinking and women, which means lusting. It can go all the way to raping because of how they feel.
Correct.
Right? And one of the things that we need to be, when I spoke to Mr. Yancey and he told me, how can this happen to me? He said, I just sold my house. I'm supposed to be happy, but I'm not. And he started bawling. I started bawling with him.
Yes.
You know, because
I would bawl alone just on the attorney fees.
I know, exactly.
Just
that alone. I have my own experience, and it's like when you are passionate about it, you reflect to what happened to you, you know, and to what happened to you, and what happened to, and I'm just like, I can't let this man fail, and I can't let this man think that this is it, you know, and there are men out there who commit suicide because they give up. And men give up quicker. 10 times quicker than women.
Because the court favors women most of the time.
Society
it makes it difficult.
favors women. most of the time.
But not in my case, but yes.
Yes, and that was.
I think in your case, it's only because he took the baby
Right.
and spent a lot of longer time with the
Correct.
baby.
That's what
so
it
the
was.
baby would have wanted his, or think that he would have
Right.
wanted the daddy.
Right.
But
Correct.
we carried the baby. The baby knows
Which
us.
is completely BS in some sort because the court could have done some type of transition for that child.
Oh, definitely.
The resources are there.
The transition would have been
The
able.
transition,
Yeah,
exactly.
you slowly.
So,
1 hour,
see,
2 hours,
the
6
transition's
hours.
there, and that I know because I personally was in the system, and they had to transition me. So I know.
Accordingly. Yeah.
Yes. So that part I know, and it's so
Yeah,
sad.
they do it with CPS children all the time.
Exactly.
Like with mothers
that's good
who,
to know.
yeah, with mothers who have drug addiction and are on rehab,
Exactly.
or you were in prison, gone 3 years, and you get your children away taken from you.
Exactly.
We can't just hand you the children right away because they're like, oh wow,
There's a
who are you?
transition that happens.
It's 1 hour, 2 hour therapy,
Correct.
this and that. But if you are a parent that cares, but you know what? It is the attorney's job to educate people like us.
Correct.
It is your job, and because they do it so often, it's all client based. I mean, are there any attorneys out there who really, really care? Is it not just about the money? I mean, we understand that you have a job just like us. Okay, we understand that you have to put food on the table. I would love for a pro bono attorney to say, hey, I'm here and I love what I do. And you know what? Because one of the things, I'm Christian based, and one of the things that we have to do in this world is rescue a soul.
Correct.
God wants you to collect people on behalf of his name.
I think
know,
I think
so-
half of us would like a disc. We'd take a discount. We'll still pay you.
Exactly.
But, you know, can we pay $150 an hour?
Is
instead
there a
of
way that
$400?
makes it a little bit less heartless?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all people want. So if you are out there and you are an attorney who is listening, you know, we can bring so many clients to you. Okay, they can afford maybe $100 an hour. The paralegal does half of the work. I know because I do it. Okay, you are just going to court. Let's be truthful. So can we please find some attorneys out there who would support this? Support the pro bono system, support the fact that we can't afford legal aid because we're middle class, so we're over the boundary, okay? Support people like Valerie who can provide coaching when people are actually just dying. They're
Correct.
dying inside.
They're desperate, they're hopeless, and that hopelessness, we need to rescue these souls.
Exactly.
We can't.
That
this-
is God's
Really,
work,
people
and what
in
we're
these
doing is God's
situations
work.
We
need to
are
make the right
humans
decisions.
that need to rescue other humans.
Yeah.
Spread the love. Pay it forward.
Exactly.
Simple.
You just said that, and I want to say something. How I met her and how I
Yes.
met her. Just a little snippet. Valerie has to tell you guys how we met.
It is crazy.
Isn't it
because
crazy?
she met me
You don't have
at
to tell the whole story if
no,
you
no,
don't
no.
want to.
But she met me at a time where I lost everything.
Wow.
Everything. Job, my car, my house.
I met her on Facebook.
Homeless.
Kind of like how Michelle Facebooked me because she saw me everywhere.
Yes.
That's how I met her.
She met me on Facebook and she said, "You Puerto Rican?" and whatever. And it was like this automatic,
Connection.
like this.
And then you were going to go to a day party. I'm
Yes.
like, you're going to a day party? Okay, cool. I see
Yeah.
that you've checked in. I'm going to see you there.
And we went and we met there.
And then next thing you know, I asked her how she was doing.
Correct.
And she said, I'm really going through a hard time right now. And I said, what's wrong? How can I help? I was genuinely
Yes.
saying, how can I help? I don't remember if you were still on Facebook during this time because you got off. But I posted about her and I didn't release her name. But I said, I have a friend who has a child that's graduating from high school and she doesn't have anything to give to her. She needed graduation
Everything.
help, ring,
Yeah.
everything else.
Literally
You
everything.
couldn't even make your rent.
Nothing. I had
didn't have
literally,
food that day.
I had nothing. When I tell you nothing, I don't even know. I guess I have I'm very faithful. That's all I can tell you
That's what
because
helped me
there's
get
nothing,
through.
I cannot tell you how I made it through that time. And whenever we were talking, I was telling her, I said, I don't even know how to feel right now. Like, I'm just.
Yeah, you did.
I'm just overwhelmed.
Now, this is a life coach. Who needs a life coach?
Which is the people that never look for help. We don't, because we're always helping people. So it was automatic for me to help and ask you what you need. But for me to tell you that I need something, it's usually kind of like, it doesn't happen. But she asked, and she really asked, and I'm really honest, and I was going through a hard time. And you know what? I was able to have food that day. I went actually grocery shopping.
I posted. And I sent her $40.
Her circle
what's your
of
cash app?
friends.
Send her $40.
Yeah. Her circle.
And I posted it on
such a
Facebook. And I said, I have a
amazing.
friend who doesn't have groceries, has lost her job, has an 18-year-old who's graduating from high school. If you can afford anything. I got so many DMs. Money kept popping up on her cash app.
Automatically. And I would tell her, so-and-so, please tell thank you. And I would send like a little heart or something, you know, so that they know that I got it. And then I was like, so-and-so gave me so-and-so and so-and-so. And then I went and did my grocery shopping, sent her the receipt. She's like, you don't have to do that. I'm like, oh, no, but I have to.
But she sent, you
she
literally
need to understand that, yes.
And I sent it to everybody who donated. The point in saying is this, is to be a friend, you need a friend and you need a life coach. You need somebody to help you through this, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
If you don't have the 3,000, 5,000, come to us. Naomi, Miss Queen, is also a paralegal who will be part of my team as well on the side hustle. And because she likes to stay at home with her man now. So I'm going to have her time.
Somebody's grandma now.
I know. She's somebody's grandma now. She don't want to be out in the streets. So I'm going to be like, I need help with this damn motion. Okay? So we're going to put it in rotation. If you know an attorney who would love to help us, please join us at Ask Lola. We've got clients that need your help. Okay, if you have anybody who needs help at this time, please refer them to them. We've got our girl Val here who can coach you through this. You don't have to go through it alone.
You don't have to be alone.
And we are here to help. We are here to answer questions. We don't provide legal advice. She's not a therapist.
No.
I'm not an attorney. But we are a group of women who care. We are a group of women who want to help at Ask Lola at Big Chun Radio. Thank you so much for listening to us today. Thank you so much for entertaining. Please subscribe at Big Chun Radio at Ask Lola and send us messages. We're on Facebook. We are on YouTube. And anything that you need, please shoot us an email or a message. Thank you very much. Ask Lola.
Yes.
Good job.
When you're looking for that authentic Caribbean flavor, the place to go is Aldi's Caribbean Restaurant. The food is good and the service is great. Takeout or dine-in, we've got you covered. Try our all-you-can-eat buffet, Monday through to Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're located at 7879 Spring Valley Road in Dallas, Texas. Visit aldis.com or call us at 972-701-0111. Catering is also available. Aldi's Afrobean Restaurant. Come, taste the Afrobean flavor.
Reaching millions. The new sound. Bottom to the top. New music from holy hip-hop lyricist Orem Shalom.
And it's loving God more than anything. You know that love you feel inside for yourself. Love who you come in contact with the same. Learn from the Lord, not your pain. My God forgives and so do I. I like life, but I'm excited to die. To live in the kingdom of the Most High. To see what it's like to be alive.
God's word, encased in an insatiable groove that'll keep you singing and playing this song over and over again. Bottom to the top. The new single from Orem Shalom. Get it now at iTunes, Spotify.com, and Amazon.com.
I love you, God.
Come join us each and every Friday
at Aldi's Sports Bar and
for
Grill.
Happy Hour Fridays from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. $1 well, $2 Jamaican rum punch, $20 bucket, 6 beer. Fridays from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Aldi's Sports Bar and Grill, located at 7879 Spring Valley Road, Dallas.
After the show, it's the after party.
After the happy hour is the after party.
Until 2 a.m., 2 rooms.
4 DJs.
Room 1,
DJ Ebu and Go DJ International Curtis G.
Room 2,
DJ Drawflip.
and guest DJ
Each and every Friday
at Aldi's Sports Bar and
for
Grill.
Happy Hour Fridays from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Located at 7879 Spring Valley Road, Dallas.
For like you give me love, oh. It's all about DJ Ebu. Bust the tune.